Welcome to Pit Stop TV and to the virtual Fairbury Speedway. We're here this evening for the Mid-State Showdown, a very truncated pre-race, meaning it's going to be shorter. Let's take a look quickly at the track map here for Fairbury Speedway. It is a quarter-mile oval, a true oval more or less, 11 degrees of banking in the corners. It sounds like a lot. Sometimes, maybe, if you consider 11 degrees, that's more than a lot of tracks that you see around the world, but it is a rather flat quarter-mile racetrack. Qualifying is beginning. These guys have very tight confines to work within this evening. Let's get trackside and take a look at what's going on with qualifying just getting going. It's going to be a quick qualifying session. We're dirt racing this evening, of course. These cars are the UMP modified, detuned a little bit to be more like a B mod. So if you're from the Midwest, I think you probably know what a B mod is. I'm not perfectly clear, admittedly. I come from the West and now the East Coast, so I kind of skipped right over the whole B mod thing. But I know this UMP modified is a little bit different from, of course, what you see in the Super Dirt Series up in the Northeast. This is a little bit longer of a body. The wheels are a little less exposed in the rear, I feel like, and it's a really cool looking race car. I know Kenny Wallace frequents these kinds of modifieds pretty darn often. Taking a look around the field, already Connor knew the one black license I saw coming into this evening. Black license meaning he's got a world-class designation. He is a pro driver here on the iRacing.com sim, on the dirt side at least. He is already up top in that number 210. Here's a look at Elliot O'Neill in this quick qualifying session. Only 5 minutes for these drivers to qualify. Blake Henn here as well in the number 69. So Elliot O'Neill was 4th. Blake Henn here is 8th, and these guys are into extra laps now. Here's Adrian Featherston across the line in that number 25 as it's scored, but 18 on the car. And Adrian will go, looks like 19th quick and is dropping. Joshua Colburn, number 75, will drop down to 13th spot. Jeff Bowser Jr. up into the 4th position. A few more heavy hitters left to go on the racetrack. Aiden Lambert on the racetrack now in car number 2. And you can tell this track has already got a lot of wear in it. You can see that glinting dirt. It is rather worn in, almost pretty well slicked off top to bottom, I'd say. Lambert 14th quick in car number 2. A few more left to go if they decide to run. Aiden Schramm has already exhausted his laps. He'll have no opportunity to go faster. He will start from the back end of one of these heat races. Mark Toney, Jesse Main, and Datum Burdick, though, they have not yet hit the racetrack. It looks like they may not be hitting the racetrack. If they will be, it'll be at the last moment, it seems like, as we still have 1 minute and 40 seconds left in qualifying. None of those 3 drivers have hit the racetrack just yet. Once again, welcome to what has been a very hectic evening getting ready for this broadcast. We agreed to do the broadcast at 7:30. Practice started at 8 o'clock, and here we are at 8:39 p.m. We are live, and we have a show ready for you. Now, if you're new to Pit Stop TV, you might not know what we usually do and the kind of broadcast you can expect from us upcoming, but let's take a look at what you can expect while we have this quick moment of downtime. We invite you to join us tomorrow for the Major Series as they head to Round 7, which will be at Homestead, Miami Speedway for the Americas region. In fact, they've got a race coming up in a few hours for the international region. I believe that will be at Twin Ring Motegi on the oval with those Indy cars, those older Indy cars, the Dallara IR05. They will get the international region going here, like I said, in a couple of hours, and then the European region tomorrow morning at Sonoma, and we've got the Homestead Miami Speedway, the oval, for these guys in the Americas region. One car has just hit the racetrack, and it is actually Jackson Weddington. He is in extra laps, but it's a chance to look at this beautiful number 5 machine. Looks like 511 rather. It looks like just a 5 from far away, but Weddington in the 511, it seems. And this actually is going to be a really good look at just how slicked off the racetrack already is. It is used up top to bottom through practice. I'd imagine the track must have carried over. It is very, very well worked in. And you see Whittington going all the way down to the tractor tires down on the inside, trying to find some kind of grip. Found a little bit down there. I wonder what these guys have found for the race coming up in just a few moments. In fact, of course, it'll be heat races first, as we usually expect with dirt racing programs. Let's take a look at the Whiplash SimCam's race details. Up to 4 8-lap heats is what I was told earlier. Let's see if that holds. I'm not sure exactly how many we're getting. I think we're going to have 3. Well, it might be 4, actually. It just might be 4 heats. So 4 8-lap heats, 24 car feature. So I'd imagine if we're running just heats, we'll be taking 6 from each. 40 laps the distance for the feature. Fixed setups, these are again set up to be like B mods, and no green-white checkers are available. Well, let's meet, or I guess at least take a look at some of the race cars out there in tonight's first heat race. Connor New going to be on pole in car number 210. There's a look at Connor's machine. Tyler Bickford to his outside. Blake Henn on the inside of row number 1, or row number 2, actually. Let me, we have a better way to do this. Why am I not doing this? Connor New, Tyler Bickford, that's your first row. Blake Henn, Jackson Whittington, second row. Nicholas Mull and Adrian Featherston, row number 3. Back in row 4, Edwin Stanton and Dwayne Hobbs. And then finally, Mark Toney, the back end of the field. Not sure why I didn't just go to the grid graphic a little bit sooner. Let's turn the music down and turn the engines up here. That is green flag in heat race number 1. First lap complete. Connor New out ahead of the whole field. Look at these guys using the entire racetrack, struggling for grip. It is, again, very used up. I'm curious to see if we'll get any track prep between the heats and the feature this evening. As one car spins in the back, that's going to be Edwin Stanton, I believe. Maybe not. No, Dwayne Hobbs actually the car around. No caution yet. It does impact the leaders. But Hobbs gets back rolling in that number 35, and we'll now continue on. Contact there with Jackson Whittington. Whittington on the outside. Here comes one on the inside. That's going to be Nicholas Mull down there in the 20. Maybe we should have angled that camera a little further out so we could see even further to the inside there of Whittington's machine. New, Bickford, Henn, your top 3. Whittington 4th, Mull in 5th, then Featherston down in the 6th spot as Connor New goes fastest. No surprise there. Again, he's got that black license. I expect this to be the final transfer car at this point in time. This is Adrian Featherston. Again, I believe this is going to be 6 transferring from each. So as of right now, this would be our final transferee. The number 225 by scoring, number 18 by car design. But white flag is out, brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. And here we go. Across the stripe will go I'm getting names all mixed up. Connor New, I'm sorry, Connor with the checkered flag there in heat race number 1. Trying to learn these names on the fly. There's 30 some odd names to learn, and doing so that quickly is sometimes a challenge. But that's heat race number 1. Connor New with the win. I believe Featherston going to be the final transferee, and we can take a look then at heat race number 2's lineup. On pole for this one, Jason McManus in car 55. It'll be Elliot O'Neill from the outside of row number 1 back to row 3, row 2 rather, position 3, Shane Tucker. Aiden Lambert from 4th spot, Brandon Richmond 5th, Chase Staples 6th, 7th and 8th, Buzz Adams and Connor Hardy in this 8-car heat race. So here we go, 8 more laps on the card for these guys in heat race number 2. Four transfer. Okay, I've been told now by Dana. 4 transfer. So that will be 16, which means there must be a consolation race of sorts, maybe 2 even, that would transfer 4 or 8 or something to get up to that 24. For the feature. So we might be in for a little extra racing than what we imagined initially, but there goes the iRacing.com safety truck back down to the safety of pit lane. And we'll turn the music back down, turn the engines back up. Here we go. Heat race number 2 on the way. Green flag. We're heat racing again at Fairbury. And contact already. Aiden Lambert's back here on the inside of the racetrack. I believe this 86 and 34 made contact down in 1 and 2. One lap out of the way, one car slow. That's Brandon Richmond on the inside. He's got trouble. So if the transfer is the top 4, this is a good transfer battle right here. The 4 of Buzz Adams, the 86 of Shane Tucker on board now with Shane Tucker. I'm going to show you the telemetry here. Watch the RPMs. They spike a little bit into the corner, all the way down inside of 2,000 RPMs. These guys have no motor to get up and out of the corner with. And they are feathering it through the ice, the black stuff, through the slick there. They are really just feathering the car around this racetrack. Already on to lap 5, I believe now, of 8. Jason McManus, your race leader, fastest of the bunch, but you're watching the battle for the final transfer spot here in heat race number 2. Buzz Adams going to pull away. On board with Buzz Adams, he's starting to get away from that number 86 machine way out front. Jason McManus has got no company out front. Elliot O'Neill about a second back. White flag in the air, brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. One more time around the quarter-mile Fairbury Speedway for heat race number 2. And down in the back, it's still Buzz Adams over Shane Tucker. Here comes McManus around the final corner. Checkered flag in the air. McManus will win heat race number 2 over O'Neill, Staples, and Adams. Your top 4 that will transfer right on into the feature race. Tucker, Lambert, Hardy, and Richmond will have to go through some kind of consolation procedure, yet to be entirely clear on what that will be for these drivers. But heat race 3 coming right up. And while we wait, want to give a big thank you to those who help out to put this event on. Crow Customs, Neff Sim Shots, McMoney Designs and Logos, and Infamous Raceworks, all doing so much to help these guys out to go racing here on a Saturday night. Let's meet the grid here for heat race number 3. On pole, Jeffrey Hyatt, just ahead of Chase Copeland in qualifying. Starting from 3rd spot, Hunter Carlson in car 32. Joshua Colburn from 4th. Starting 5th, Dylan Jones. Ethan Patterson from the 6th spot. And back in row 4 will be Colton Tripp and Jesse Main. I want to take you through some of the onboard cameras that we have this evening, thanks to Whiplash Simcams. Here's a look on board with Joshua Colburn, looking over the dash of that race car. We have one looking out the right side, one looking out the left side, and one just to the left of the driver's head. This is a really cool vantage point I hope to use a lot tonight. We also have this driver's eye POV that I like a lot. Let's watch the start of the race from the POV of Joshua Colburn. Green flag, it even spins in the corners. It's set up as a gyro cam. Green flag. Out front, a great battle between Hyatt and Copeland. Copeland is getting the best of Hyatt, and that is the first pass we have seen for a race lead thus far this evening. Hyatt falls back into 2nd spot. Colburn 3rd, Jones 4th. That's the final transfer position. Patterson and Main fight for 5th. Main falling all the way down to the inside, but taking the spot away. Patterson falling back. Here's a look on board of Patterson. I love this vantage point. Right alongside the driver's helmet. This is so cool. Little battle for 2nd. Colburn maybe getting the better of Hyatt, possibly. They're nearly side by side. Hyatt has got away with the 2nd spot for now, but Colburn gave him a run for his money. Dylan Jones still rides in that 4th spot in car number 22 ahead of Jesse Main, who still works the inside. Now Main comes up a little higher, runs right through the middle in 3 and 4. 2 laps to go in heat race number 3. Main and Patterson fight for 5th and 6th, but it's going to be all for naught as Dylan Jones should have the final transfer spot. White flag, 1 lap to go here in heat race number 3. Quickly getting this field set for tonight's 40-lap feature. There goes Copeland way down low. It'll be a checkered flag this time by for Chase Copeland. Over at Hyatt, Colburn, and Jones, Main, Patterson, Carlson, and Tripp will all have to go through some kind of consolation. They will not advance to tonight's feature, at least just yet. One heat race left to go as the sun continues to set behind the speedway. Want to quickly thank our partners here at Pit Stop TV, of course, Whiplash Simcams on the top of the list alongside ATVO, CC's Business, Cody, Williams Design, Lucky Performance, and the North American Racing League. Jeff Bowser going to lead us to the green flag here in heat race number 4. Here's a look at the heat 4 grid with Jeff Bowser on top. Jeff Bowser Jr., that is. Braden Tuttle will start from position number 2. Starting from 3rd, it'll be Matt Smith alongside James Gray. From 5th place, it'll be Jordan Tiemann, maybe Timon probably. And Jeffrey Try from 6th. He'll try to advance into tonight's feature race. Brandon Joy from 7th and Aiden Schramm from 8th. There's the look at the field of 8. A chance to catch our breaths before we go racing for the 4th time this evening in heat race number 4. Should be green from green to checkers. Waiting on that green flag, though, at the flag stand. There it is. We are racing here at heat race number 4. Contact, big contact, up in the air and over goes the 84 Tuttle. And that's going to send these two, Tuttle and Smith, to the back. They still are not sorted out. No cautions here in the heat races. And Tuttle will finally take the tow. This is going to help out Jeffrey Try. And there's the caution. So we will reset this field, more or less. An admin thrown caution, Jeff Bowser Jr., the front end of the line here. And this the first CC's caution of the night in any way, shape, or form. There goes the iRacing Pace truck around the speedway. Jeff Bowser Jr., the race leader. Jordan Timon in 2nd. Brandon Joy in 3rd. In that number 36, it's on the racetrack as car number 93. And then Jeffrey Try. That one is the number 39, no matter which way you want to look at it. And Try is currently in that final transfer spot, so he's got a leg up over Aiden Schramm, Matt Smith, everybody else, as James Gray has taken it to the pit lane here. And it looks like he might be done alongside Braden Tuttle. Single file restart, and green flag is back in the air. Those caution laps all counted, meaning we've got ourselves a very short conclusion to heat race number 4. Brandon Joy falls back on the infield tractor tire. That's not where you want to be. Car bouncing along the ruts there in turn 4. There you see the 86 working the top side. That's Aiden Schramm. This is looking at the right side of Brandon Joy's machine. That's white flag brought to you by Whiplash Simcams one more time around this quarter mile. And out front it is Jeff Bowser Jr. by a second and a half. Jordan Timon 2nd. Jeffrey Try 3rd. Brandon Joy 4th. Joy will hang on to a transfer spot over Aiden Schramm. Oh boy, what a finish to heat race number 4 and to our heat races in general. Now, I'd imagine we're about to transfer into some kind of, C main. Now, I wonder, maybe Dana Burdick can help me in the YouTube chat. I wonder, Dana, Are we going to transfer drivers from this race straight into the feature, or are the transferees from this race becoming the B main field? Or at least transferring into the B main field? I do wonder. Hopefully Dana can get an answer out to us quickly. Regardless, let's go ahead and meet the grid here of C main number 1. Looks like it'll be the only C feature on the evening. Nicholas Mole on the inside of row 1, alongside Jesse Main. From row number 2, Adrian Featherston and Ethan Patterson. From 5th, it'll be Edwin Stanton, Hunter Carlson from 6th. And 7th and 8th spot will be Dwayne Hobbs and Colton Tripp. So taking 4 from this race straight on to the feature. So it's almost like B main 1, B main 2 to my understanding, if this race transfers straight into the feature race. But we are calling it the C main here this evening. Otherwise, we'll transfer some cars from this race into the B, and then we'll likely take 8 from the B and move on. I'm curious to see exactly what it does, but we'll turn the music back down, turn the engines back up, and go racing here in the C main. 12 laps the distance. Big dive out of Jesse Main, right to the point. But here comes Mole back on the inside. Side-by-side fight now with Ethan Patterson on the inside. He dives for first place. This track being this slick is really making it challenging for these guys. Here's a good look from high above. Caution flag. Edwin Stanton had gotten turned around. So it seems anyways. Seems like he was going on okay. But he was the last in line, so I'd imagine if there was a reason for caution, it would have been for him. Alas, it's relatively unclear as to why the caution came out there. So one more time, an opportunity for us to thank our partners here with Pit Stop TV. Of course, Whiplash SimCam's top of the list there for us. ATVO as well. CC's Business, Cody, Williams Design, Lucky Performance, and the North American Racing League. Also have some partners here with the series or with the event. Crow Customs, Neff Sim Shots, McMoney Designs, and Infamous Raceworks. I've seen that logo on a handful of cars already this evening. Here we go, though, to the next green flag of the evening. This will be right in the middle here of our C main. We're told that for transfer, let's see how this goes. Green flag back in the air. In the back, you can see Colton Tripp. He has fallen well back of Hunter Carlson. Carlson currently holding what is said to be the final transfer spot. And look at this gap back. I mean, 1.5 seconds back to Tripp, and he is pulling away by more and more every lap. Here's a look from Colton Tripp's perspective. Watching him work the wheel there in car number 33. And he's struggling. See him get the wall there on the front stretch. Here comes Dwayne Hobbs. Contact there. Going to hold these guys up, make them go sideways. More door banging, down to the infield nearly. Colton Tripp will get back going. Meanwhile, great fight for third. Hunter Carlson bringing the fight to Nicholas Mole. Side by side, they go out of turn number 2. And Carlson's got the spot. Now up ahead, here's your race leader, Jesse Main. Car number 201 has got the lead and is not looking back. Here comes the white flag. Brought to you by Whiplash SimCams. 1 to go in our C main. And again, we're told that 4 will be transferring, meaning it'll be Main, Patterson, Carlson, and Mole, your top 4. And they should move on to tonight's feature. We'll find out in just a second if that will hold true, as Featherston, Hobbs, and Tripp, and Stanton will all be headed home. So checker flag there for the C main. And here comes our B-main, and sure enough, that took 4 and sent them straight to the feature race. So here we go, 4 more ready to transfer on. Let's take a look at the grid for our B-main. Shane Tucker on pole alongside Aiden Schramm on the front row. Aiden Lambert alongside Braden Tuttle in row number 2. Starting from the 5th spot, it'll be Connor Hardy alongside Matt Smith. Brandon Richmond and James Gray. They've got one of the harder tasks of the evening. That is to advance to the feature from the back of one of these fields. Transferring into tonight's race has been cutthroat for sure. We're working up to having a 24-car field for the feature, which is going to send about 10 drivers home. I believe. Maybe 8. It might be exactly 8. Regardless, it's getting tighter and tighter to try and make tonight's feature race. And here we go. For the final preliminary race in the Mid-State Showdown, we are green flag and already contact there at the start. Aiden Schramm around the outside, 3-4 wide through turns 1 and 2. Down on the inside though, Shane Tucker leads him into turn number 3. 4 abreast, 1 lap now complete. Oh boy, this is getting crazy. All over the racetrack, 4 wide for 3rd. Make it now 3 for 1st, 3 for 4th. These guys beating and banging all over the racetrack. 1 is stopped on the inside. That's going to be James Gray. He tows back to the pit lane. Everybody else continues on as Connor Hardy comes to a stop. Side-by-side contact for 2nd now. Braden Tuttle goes by. Problems for Aiden Lambert. He is up and over, and car number 2 is going to be headed on out of here. He will tow. That leaves 1 car on the outside of the top 4. Brandon Richmond, now the only car left to try and make a run at advancing to tonight's feature race. Around my neck of the woods, there's a little racetrack known as Cherokee Speedway. Steve Post is always very sure to call it the place your mama warns you about. So far tonight, the B-main has been the race your mama warns you about. This has been insane. It's calming down now, but we do have a battle for the race lead. Side by side, Tuttle and Tucker. Tuttle on the outside, Tucker down low. That was turns 1 and 2. Here's turns 3 and 4. From the drone shot, that'll complete lap number 7. This is for the front of the field. Tuttle over Tucker and Smith. Richmond, by the way, still trying to make it into tonight's feature race. He's just got to pass 1 car to do it. Can he get there? On board with Brandon Richmond. That's the gap. Bottom right of your screen for him to advance into the feature. Aiden Schramm doing his best to scram on out of there. 3 laps to go in the B-main. Richmond parks it. You saw him hang a left there to get the car turned. In the wall, though, for Schramm. Richmond nice and tidy on the top side, but he's got to move somewhere if he wants to try and get by this 86 car. He can't just sit in line. Lap and a half to go. Coming down to the final quarter mile at Fairbury Speedway to advance into tonight's feature race. Here we go. White flag is out. Brought to you by Whiplash Simcams. One more time around. Richmond trying to advance. Braden Tuttle's going to get away for the win. Here's the big send from Richmond. Slide job. He's not going to get there. And Schramm will move on. What a send out of Brandon Richmond. Give him a hand, ladies and gentlemen. That was a great last-ditch effort to try and get into tonight's feature race. Oh, my goodness. 5 minutes now for warm-up for these guys to work the track back in, I'd imagine. Actually, no work on the track back in. It is still worked in. It is black from top to bottom. There you see in turns 3 and 4, I believe, just how rubbered in this racetrack is. What a move, though, from Brandon Richmond, and it was so close to working out. So we do something here at Pitstop TV known as the Lucky Performance Lucky Break of the Day. And I'm inclined to say But that move not working out is Aiden Schramm's lucky break of the day, and we'll see if that stands above all else. And yeah, Dana saying out in the YouTube chat, the track is too far gone to have warm-up, so drivers being held in their cars, not being permitted onto the racing surface, it sounds like. But I would say that would stand up, at least for now, as Aiden Schramm's lucky performance, lucky break of the day. We'll see if that stands for the entirety of the event. 40 laps of racing coming up next. Man, Brandon Richmond, what a send. That was very, very close there. That was for the final transfer spot. Well, we took a look earlier, and we'll take a look now at the upcoming broadcast here for us at Pit Stop TV. If you're new to us, I'd imagine if you're watching tonight, you probably are. We invite you to join us tomorrow at 6:45 Eastern for a classic IndyCar race at Homestead Miami Speedway. We're going to have the best of the major series going at it in the Americas region for round number 7 of 12. And then Wednesday, maybe this is a little more up your alley. It's stock cars at least, so it's a little close to what we're doing here tonight. It's the Luke's Playhouse Wellness Center and Gym, and this is a feel-good kind of race. This is the Luke's Playhouse 200. We are taking some NASCAR stars, putting them up against iRacing stars, and even some iRacing Joes, if you will, and just having them go racing for 200 miles, 100 laps at Auto Club Speedway on July 23rd. That's this coming Wednesday. It's all to raise money for a great cause. That is Luke's Playhouse Wellness Center and Gym, located in Lincolnton, North Carolina. You can look into it some more. But Luke's Playhouse, basically, they strive to become kind of a YMCA for children with disabilities, children with special needs, children who just need a hand at staying active, staying fit. And that is what we want to support here. That kind of cause here at Pit Stop TV is near and dear to our hearts. So Luke's Playhouse 200 on Wednesday, July 23rd, is a must-watch for all of you watching here this evening. So if you're brand new to the channel, if you only come back for one race, please make it that one. Go ahead and watch this Wednesday. Drivers like Lane Riggs, Caden Honeycutt, some others on the list of drivers that should be in that event and racing on a Wednesday night. That should be a lot of fun. Vicente Salas, I believe, Nick Leitz, and some others on the sign-up list as well. And then Thursday, we've got some road racing to throw into the mix. It's the North American Racing League as they head out to Sebring International Raceway down in South Florida. That'll be July 24th at 7:45 Eastern. I appreciate Joshua Colbert letting us know it's going to be 50 laps, not 40. Hey, I was told 40 earlier on. I'm going to put that one on Dana. So 50 laps, the distance coming up for tonight's feature race. Hey, 10 more laps of fun. That's okay with me. Let's review those Whiplash SimCam's race details. We had those 4 8-lap heats. We also had a C main, also had a B main. Those happened pretty quick. We're now rolling through warm-up, 50 seconds to go before we have our 24-car feature for 50 laps. These are custom fixed setups, set up to be like B mods that you would see across the Midwest, and there are no green-white checkers available, at least as far as I've been told. Got 20 or so of you watching. Guys, be ready. Towards the end of this race, I'm going to nominate 4 drivers that are piquing my fancy for today's NARL Driver of the Day fan vote. This is a fan vote. This is you guys voting. I just nominate the 4 drivers. You guys choose who gets those honors. The North American Racing League Driver of the Day. That's kind of, if you're not going to win the race, you at least want to walk out as Driver of the Day. I often look at positions gained, often just kind of go off of my feeling of who has been impactful to the race, maybe who's gone to the back and come back forward, that kind of thing. So watch out for the Driver of the Day vote later on in this race. I expect it's going to be pretty quick, pretty rough and tumble, honestly, rapid fire almost, so it's going to be a little hard to fit it in, but I promise you we're going to fit it in. It's something we do at every Pit Stop TV broadcast here in 2025, and it's something we're going to continue here this evening. So as we flip on into tonight's race session, let's take a look at the starting grid, brought to you by Lucky Performance. Elliott O'Neill on pole. Through all the qualifying and the heat races, it'll be Elliott O'Neill that leads us to the green alongside Tyler Bickford. Starting from third, Jeff Bowser Jr. I believe he was his heat race winner, as was Chase Copeland there, starting from the 4th spot. Jason McManus from the 5th position, Connor New from 6th, starting 7th, Jeffrey Hyatt, Jordan Tyman from 8th. It'll be Blake Henn from 9th and Chase Staples from 10th. I think there was a small invert there. I'm not exactly sure on the number, but I'm pretty sure Connor New won his heat race. I think they flipped about 6 cars around. Starting from 11th, it'll be Joshua Colburn. 12th, Jeffrey Try. Back in row 7, it's Jackson Whittington and Buzz Adams. Then in row 8, you've got Dylan Jones and Brandon Joy. And to complete your top 20, how about Jesse Main, Braden Tuttle, Ethan Patterson, and Matt Smith. Starting from 21st, though, it'll be Hunter Carlson. 22nd, Shane Tucker. 23rd, Nicholas Mole, and 24th, give it up for Aiden Schramm. Well, here we go. Barney's got the flag in hand. We are ready to go racing for 50 laps. The green flag at display. There goes the iRacing.com safety truck to the relative safety of pit lane. Back around to the green flag this time by. We are racing in the 2025 Mid-State Showdown. Big slider there out of Tyler Bickford. It's going to work out, though. He goes right out to the race lead, but here comes Elliot O'Neill. Here comes everybody just hounding for that top spot. 3, 4, 5 wide almost through the corners. Everybody fanning out to complete lap number 2. Spun around is the number 22. Caution, I think, is coming out. There it is. You saw it all happen from the flag stand camera as Bickford, Copeland, and New are your top 3. Caution, though, will wave, and that will halt the field. I actually didn't get clarification on whether or not caution laps would count, but it seems like they are. But let's go back and catch the 22 machine. This is going to be Dylan Jones towards the back of the field. And I dare say caution laps now are not counting. I might have had that one wrong. I think they counted in the heat race, but not here in the feature. The number 4 just got sideways, came down and hooked the 22, and around they all went. That number 4 was Buzz Adams. Back to live picture. Can confirm caution laps are not counting. There's that number 22. They're all chasing car 07. That again, Tyler Bickford. We should get the 1 to green, I think, this time by and go back racing the lap after. So, yeah, cars doubling up. Looks like this is the time to go. So that was the 1 to green last time by the flag stand. This is down into turn number 3. Coming back around to the green flag. We are racing once again in the Mid-State Showdown. A look at the front of the field now. Bickford's got company. Here comes Copeland on the outside. He'll take the lead away across the stripe to complete lap number 4. Fastest lap of the race there for Copeland. Bickford working the inside right down on those tractor tires, but Copeland's going to have to run off the top side of the racetrack. Here comes Connor New. New around the outside lane. He's going to have a run. Fastest lap of the race there by the 2:10. We're on board with him now. Scrapes the outside wall in turns 3 and 4. Copeland still the leader. New now second place on the top side. Bickford down low in 3rd. McManus trying to go somewhere in 4th. McManus back here with Jeffrey Hyatt and some others. Elliot O'Neill, Blake Henn. He's going to go way down low. Work that inside tractor tire that time. Bickford, by the way, has calmed down. He is 3rd in line now, losing time to the 2 race leaders. So let's go on board with 2nd place. This should be a fun camera to watch. On board with pro driver Connor New. Here he goes down to the inside lane, looking for something there on race leader Copeland. And you see that lap traffic in the foreground from that one shot. Already, these guys are starting to close in with just 10 laps complete, closing in on the back end of the field. And there you can see it, even from the blimp camera. That is Buzz Adams they're closing in on. He was involved in that first crash, where he got turned around and came down into the 22 car of Dylan Jones. 12 laps complete right there across the stripe, and we are into some lap traffic now. Your top two relatively spread out, but it's going to bring these guys right back together. Caution's out. There's the spun around car right in front of the leaders. And that's going to be Matt Smith. So Matt Smith turned around to the back end of the field. We'll see what happened to him here. Watch that blue, black, and yellow number 31 car. This is a lap leading into it. Contact there with the 14. Got bullied up the racetrack and the 14 checked up. 31 went high. Contact there with the 22. And so Dylan Jones involved in another crash already this evening. It has been a night to forget already for Mr. Jones. And you see now Jones and the 31 of Smith are in the pit lane. I'd imagine Smith is trying to get a fast repair. And he will work back onto the racetrack. Remember back to the track map we showed you at the top of the show. We'll do this quickly because we're going to take the green. Look at the pit lane right through the center of the racetrack. That's the service area here on iRacing. Otherwise, it would be outside the racetrack in real life. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. We are racing up front. Chase Copeland puts a right rear to Connor New. In the wall goes a 210, but they will stay 1 and 2 into turn 3. McManus way down low. Bickford there. Caution's out once again. Nicholas Mole turned around in the back straightaway. And he's going to try and get that car. Oh, he's got a broken suspension. And that's going to hold up Connor New down to the infield tires. New just got held up. He should get a spot back. That's going to be a fast repair for Nicholas Mole. Let's ride on board with Mole up to the crash. It happened quick. It was right there. You see the 14 get turned around, and poor Mole had nowhere to go. Oh, my goodness. Buzz Adams right through the center of that number 20. And then here come the leaders, all in a hurry. And New ends up choosing the low side right as Nicholas is trying to get down to the pits. Oh, man, the whole field stopped right behind him. That was chaotic, to say the least. Here we go. Looks like we're going back green this time by waiting on the green flag. Actually, the pace truck is just that far ahead. So, pace truck lights are now extinguished. And we should be going green this next time by the flag stand to resume here on lap 15 of 50. We appreciate you watching along this evening. If you're enjoying the race, go ahead and give us a like. And we are going back green. Big restart there for Copeland. New down to the inside. Big send coming out of New. All the way down to the inside. And he's got the lead here into turn 3, but not by much. Slides up and he will take it away. And a response slide job there out of Copeland, I think, was just enough to get the lead before the caution flag. Let's see what iRacing decides to do with the top two, as it looks like Buzz Adams might be involved in another. Oh, somebody's got problems. The whole field has come to a stop. Well, let's go back while these guys figure out scoring and such. Let's go back and see what just happened. One car went up and over, and I wonder, it wasn't the 14. Try to find who it would have been. I think it was this cat right here, Brandon Joy. Oh my goodness. That is for sure worthy of a caution. And this is going to be one heck of a ride on board. Grab your popcorn, this is going to be fun. Boom! And he towed out of there as quick as he could. That, again, was Brandon Joy. up to the front of the field. It does seem that iRacing gave the lead to Copeland. They're trying to figure out exactly where they need to be now. I guess getting some lap cars back by as well. And I think we're going to single file restarts based on the field being lined up like that. Sure enough, here we go. Green flag coming, green flag back in the air, and one around. I think that's McManus. It is car 55. Jason McManus, we about saw it there at the start of the race, or the green flag anyways, the restart. But he got turned around right away. Watch this. Jams in the back of the 10 of New, got jacked up from behind by Bickford. Now, to be fair to Bickford, let's see his onboard. This is more or less what he sees when they go green. And that's even got more of a vantage point than he actually had. So there is not much he could have done. That's just a classic stack up coming to the green. It's a bit of a slow going feature race right now. That's okay. This is the Mid-State Showdown. Brought to you in part by Crow Customs, Neff Sim Shots, Big Money Designs, and Infamous Raceworks. Coming back around, green flag back in the air. We are racing once again. Hello, Connor New, right back down to the inside. New working down low, but Copeland's going to get away. That holds up McManus. He was given a spot back. He now goes all the way down to the inside. New works that outside wall. There goes McManus with a slider. He gets crossed back up. Caution is out again. Buzz Adams, car 4. And he will tow right back to the pit lane. This is a lap prior. Buzz Adams had a rough go here tonight. Going to make contact with the 32 machine, just was not clear. And backs it up onto the fence, literally. So back to live picture. Chase Copeland, still the race leader. Madison Austin rooting on car number 30. That's going to be Chase Staples. Unfortunately, it looks like Chase is out of the race. So unfortunate news there. Tell you who's not out of race yet. That's Aiden Schramm from the back to the front. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Copeland, the race leader, New right behind. McManus in third. They all on the top side there through 1 and 2. Running by the speed shot there on the back straightaway, or on the front straightaway rather. Now on the back straightaway, there we go. Lap 19 underway, coming around to lap 20 on board with McManus. I'm going to give him the lucky performance, lucky break of the day. He got his spot back when he got turned around there by Bickford. He got his spot back, was able to come back up to the front of the field, restart up front, and has held on to third place since then. So that is a big lucky break for car 55 to stay up in the top 3. Meanwhile, it's still Copeland and New racing for the top spot. We're already coming up on cross flags halfway, and that's about when I'm going to start that conversation for driver of the day. Already, I can tell you, these two are on the ballot. Big send coming. Connor Newton out of the inside slide job. He gets the spot, loses it back. That was a big crossover there from Chase Copeland. And you can see why New was getting a little bit antsy in his pants, because you can see lap traffic ahead. The opportunities, they might not come as easily once these guys catch that lap traffic. So he wanted to take that shot when he could. As we'll get cross flags this time by halfway down, halfway to go. Lap traffic ahead for these leaders. There's the leaders into turns 1 and 2 here. Copeland, that red car. He's on the outside now, that 32 car. That's Hunter Carlson. Next one up is Matt Smith. Then up to Nicholas Mole as these guys now work through lap traffic in the back half of this race. Usually when we do the driver of the day vote, we walk through every step of the way. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to surprise you guys with who we're nominating, as there's a big send out of Copeland on Mole to get by that 20 car. Watch New now. He goes all the way down to the inside. That's a slide job, a big one at that, and our leaders are tangled up on turn 2. Caution is out. The leaders tangle. And Connor New is on his lid. And that's going to be a tow back to the pit lane. This, I think, hands the lead over to Tyler Bickford and Jason McManus. Here's a look at it again. Big send out of Connor New. And Copeland kind of ran in the back of him. If Copeland had just turned left a little more, he would have shot right on by New. I mean, Connor's kind of along for the ride once he throws that slider like that. Watch it, up the racetrack. He's along for the ride, and I mean, Chase got blindsided. There's really nothing that either of them could have done. Once Connor set that slide into turn 1, they were both just along for the ride, and that's unfortunate. Watch it here from the drone. Throws it way down low. I mean, he's the passing car, right? Connor's the passing car, so it's on him to do it safely. But man, that sucks to see for both of those guys. Up to the front of the field, though, it'll be Jason McManus now in control of the race. And this completely changes who I'm nominating for driver of the day, I'm not going to lie. I had my 4 ready to go, and I gotta change it now. Looks like the caution will be extended just a little bit longer. Connor New is still in the race. I believe Copeland is as well. Scoring moves around a lot under caution here. Yes, Copeland is still in. There he is. And New has just been sent to the rear as well. So they'll line up towards the back here. And we're going to hold under caution for just a little bit longer, trying to get some of the field back on the lead lap. So still under caution. Want to give a thank you to the partners with this event: Crow Customs, Neff Sim Shots, Big Money Designs, and Infamous Raceworks, all helping us out to get to and from the virtual racetrack this evening. And a thank you as well to our partners here at Pitstop TV, Whiplash Simcams, ATVOs, CC's Business, Cody, Williams Design, Lucky Performance, and the North American Racing League. There goes another wave around. Race admins using this opportunity to get everybody back on the lead lap. Of course, if you go to your local track, 9 times out of 10, they won't, I should say 9 times out of 10, probably 7.5 times out of 10, they won't place cars a lap down. They only score the lead lap, and even if you get lapped, you'll just be placed back at the end of the lead lap in your position. So I think that's what these guys are trying to emulate here, trying to give laps back to these guys to get them back on the lead lap. Here we go, 21 laps to go. Green flag back in the air. The Mid-State Showdown is back underway. Jesse Main has come from the very back end of the field. He started deep in this one. He is in the top 10. And he's not the only one. Tuttle as well, I believe, came from one of the C or B mains. All right, that driver of the day vote just went live on YouTube. As a caution comes back out, this is going to be Shane Tucker turned around and turned on his lid. There went Tucker by the flag stand a lap prior to his incident, racing here with Chase Copeland. Oh boy, of course he put the top two cars in the field in the back, and they're bound to get involved in something. Yeah, Tucker just came up the racetrack. Copeland was just trying to fill the hole, and they met right in the middle. Unfortunately, Tucker got turned up and over on his lid, and that's likely going to be his day done. See right here, they can just come together right about there, and nowhere for that 86 or the 1 to have gone. That's just part of it. As McManus will continue to lead here now under caution. That's down the front stretch. See the flag stand there on the right, or left. Driver's right, our left. All right, that vote is live. We've got a bunch of you watching still here on Pit Stop TV, and you've got to be on YouTube to vote. You can also watch this broadcast on Facebook or Twitch, but you've got to be on YouTube to vote. Green flag back in the air. We're racing here inside of 20 laps to go. Drone cam here for McManus, Bickford, and Hyatt, your top three. The 55 of O'Neill has caught up. He's fourth. The 69 of Henn is in the top five. He's fifth. Colburn sixth. Main is seventh. Let's go on board with the driver that started oh so deep in this field. Started 17th. Had to come through the B main. And now runs inside the top 10. And he's on your driver of the day list. You can vote for Jesse Main. Those contenders this evening: Jason McManus, Tyler Bickford, they're 1 and 2. Jesse Main is here in 7th. Braden Tuttle is just behind in 9th. There's a slider there just ahead of Jesse. That was Colburn making a send there on Henn, and it did not work out. Everybody rim riding, running the high line, the Larson line. Everybody all the way up the racetrack. Nearly 10 laps to go. Caution is out. That's going to be Nicholas Mole turned around. So problems for Mr. Nicholas Mole. Here he is slow on the inside. I think he was trying to pull down to the pits, but ended up pulling off and staying on the racing surface for that caution to come out. I believe that's the only thing that was going on the racetrack, and you see Copeland was going by there. He just pulls low out of turn 2 and stops, and that's what prompts this caution flag. So unfortunate that that's all it did it, but that's all it takes sometimes. Nearly down to 10 laps to go here in the Mid-State Showdown. I want to thank Dana Burdick for contacting us here at Pit Stop TV, getting us in contact to broadcast this one. It's been a fun one so far. Very much looking forward to these final 13 laps here this evening. We'll be talking to the top 3 after this race. Stay tuned for that. Green flag back in the air. McManus, Bickford, your front row. Here they go to turn 1. Send slider out of McManus. Crossover out of, oh my goodness, cars in the air. Jeffrey Hyatt pirouetting in the sky. There's a look at his number 11. It is beat up after that. A good looking paint scheme. Kind of a Western theme going on. Jeffrey Hyatt trying to get clear to the top side. The 55 was there. I think that's, oh, I'm not sure actually. Was that Carlson maybe? No, because he scored as something different. I'm trying to remember who that was. One more look. That was Elliott O'Neill, I believe. Yes, it was. He just got squeezed in the wall. Nothing Elliott could have done. You see Hyatt go flipping through the air. A couple more cars made contact after the fact, but that is just part of it. Here we go. The field's doubling up, ready to go back. Green flag. Jason McManus at the front of the field. Green flag is back out. 12 laps to go here at Fairbury. Nearly contact there. McManus got that lucky break earlier. Nearly got turned around again. This is the look behind him. 4 wide out of turn number 2. And a slide job coming from Tyler Bickford. Bickford slams him in the wall. Big hit out of turn 4. The whole field is in it. And that might be the end of the road for Tyler Bickford. Could see that one coming from a country mile away. Watch that purple and yellow 07. He's going to turn left here, mid-backstretch, and just send it on McManus and slams McManus in the wall. That ricochets him into Hen. Maine was trying to get by, and he got caught up in it. I think that was Connor New that got through. Oh my goodness, one more look. Slams him up in the wall. Poor McManus. Poor Maine. Poor everybody that just got caught up in that. That was just about the entire field. And I have no clue who the leader's going to be after that. It looks like it's going to be Jesse Maine. Are you kidding me? Let's pump up the votes, ladies and gentlemen. Jesse Maine is about to drive from the consolation races into the lead once we go back green here. Now, Connor New is only 4 cars back. I now regret not nominating him for driver of the day because he's only 4 cars back. He has a great chance to go for the win here. So look at your top 4 quickly. Jesse Maine, Jeff Bowser Jr., Jackson Whittington, and Connor New. Back up to the front. Green flag for Jesse Maine. We are racing again. 10 laps to go here at Fairbury. Caution is already out. Joshua Colburn turned around. That was short-lived. And this is going to involve Copeland in the number 1 car. Watch him. He's in that red, light blue, and white machine 2 cars back at the purple 75. Copeland got digging there on the restart. That most certainly would have been a penalty anyways, and he goes right into the side of the 75, or I guess the 88 as he's scored, of Colburn. So that was never going to work out. Watch it here. Right here. Boom. Jeffrey Hyatt gets a piece. Jesse Maine, though, will still be the race leader. And every one of these failed restarts is going to work out for Jesse Maine. That gets him closer and closer to the win, potentially. Now, that did also work out for Connor New. New basically got a free spot. So Connor New up to 3rd. Here we go. Green flag. Coming back out. There it is. Green flag in the air. Jesse Maine, Jeff Bowser Jr., Connor New in the top 3. About 9 laps to settle this thing here at Fairbury Speedway. Watch that blue car. Watch Connor New. He's going to drive down the racetrack here. This is from the onboard of Jeff Bowser Jr. Big send into turn 1. New gets that slider done. Crossover there out of Bowser. This is the fight for 2nd. This is allowing Jesse Maine to pull away. And caution is out. Scoring is just trying to hang on. So let's go back and see what just happened on that restart. I think it was Colburn again, maybe. Oh my goodness, it was. So Joshua Colburn involved in another caution here. Hyatt got into him, or he got into Hyatt, however you want to look at that, and then he rides the wall up into turn 3. And I'll be honest, ladies and gentlemen, I've got no place for that when a driver just throws the car into the corner to just bring out a caution. You got no place in the racetrack, in my opinion. I understand it's been a rough day for you, but oh, right front broke. I take everything back. Okay, Colburn, I apologize. I take everything back. I'm glad I wish I looked over and saw the comment about 2 seconds sooner, because it looked intentional. So Joshua, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt there. Right front broke. I was going to say, it looks like he just threw it up the racetrack to cause the caution, and then immediately escaped. But anyways, here we go. 6 laps to go. Jesse Main back out ahead. He is on the ballot for driver of the day. He's about to maybe win this race from 17th. Jeff Bowser Jr., Connor New, 2nd and 3rd. Here comes Dylan Jones in 4th. Connor New down to the inside. There he goes. Big slider on a New. Slider complete. Here comes the crossover. Another slider in the works. Connor New goes for it again. That was 5 laps to go. Here comes 4. Crossover again on a Bowser. This all the fight for 2nd. Now a slider on a Bowser. New gets there. Crossover this time to the back straightaway. 3 laps to go this next time around. And Connor New slams the outside wall. That should let Maine get away unless there's a caution. Jeff Bowser Jr. fighting back. This is the battle for 2nd. Dylan Jones now turns left. Coming to popsicle sticks in the air. 2 to go. Jones threw a big slider. That might be good for 2nd, but a caution is out. And everything is going to get rewritten here. This race is far from over. You see the broken left front on the 016. This is Ethan Patterson. Let's take a look at what happened to Patterson's machine, because it was not always that way. There you see McManus getting into the 84 of Tuttle, who hung on through all of that. Patterson blinks out for a moment. McManus comes out of nowhere. Boom! Left front broken. Right like that. Tuttle might have been the final glancing blow, I suppose, but Patterson's left front has seen better days. That's the latest caution here this evening. And I'd imagine with no green-white checkers, it may be the last as well. So let's take a look at the race info here. 14 yellows through this 50-lap race. 7 lead changes, though. It has been crazy up front. And let's see if we get the 1 to green signal this time by. I believe we will. We will not. So at least 1 more lap of caution. I'll tell you what, this has been a crazy one. This has been a crazy one. It has been a fun one to watch and talk about, but these later cautions have just gotten crazier and crazier. Cars flipping through the air. Like I said earlier at the top of the show, I've been to a lot of races in my time, mostly asphalt, but plenty of dirt races in there too. I've not been to many Midwest races. I've only been to Midwest pavement races, asphalt races. But I can't imagine that every Midwest dirt race, every B-mod race is like this. Regardless, I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we caught this one. I'm glad we got the call at 7:30 tonight to do this broadcast. A little over 2 hours ago, we agreed to set it up and go for it. So Dana Burdick, thank you. We are glad to be here. Now, in the event of a photo finish, I want to show off a couple of cameras here from Whiplash Sim Cams. We do have some start-finish line cameras. Now, there's no painted line, but there is a line there on the wall. So we can use that as a reference. Just in case of any photo finish, as we use some extra caution laps here. Fuel not a concern for these guys, I'd imagine, as they continue to turn laps here under yellow. There we go. That's the 1 to green signal. One more time, I want to give a big thank you to those who make this broadcast possible. Crow Customs, Neff Sim Shots, McMoney Designs, and Infamous Raceworks. All glad to represent you here all this evening. Green flag on the way. It'll be 2 laps to go for Jesse Main out front. Green flag in the air. Watch that 210. Watch Connor New here to turn 1. 2 laps to go. It's a half mile here at Fairbury Speedway. Connor New, he's going to be looking for a big move down here to turn 3. Where is he going to go? It's not going to happen down in turn 1. That's the white flag brought to you by Whiplash Sim Cams. Bowser up the racetrack. That opens up the door for New. He's going to send it on Jesse Main, but out of turn number 4, Jesse Main comes from the B main to win the Mid-State Showdown at Fairbury Speedway. Jesse Main, what a feature event for car 201. Unbelievable. Jesse Main will get it done here in front of this crowd of 6,600. The virtual crowd, at least. Jeff Bowser Jr. currently being credited with 2nd. Dylan Jones with 3rd. Connor New must not have finished that last lap or something. He's being credited in 10th, a lap down. The votes are still coming in. They'll be allowed to be made until the end of driver interviews. But if that isn't a campaign for Jesse Main, I don't know what is. To go from 17th on the grid, look at that, 17th to 1st. That's 16 spots gained. I don't think anybody else did better than that this evening. So Jesse Main, tonight's race winner here at Fairbury Speedway. But let's go back and take a look at the full unofficial race results before we talk to any drivers this evening. Of course, Jesse Main with the win. Jeff Bowser Jr. 2nd. Dylan Jones there in 3rd. Elliot O'Neill 4th and Matt Smith 5th. And again, this is as we get it from iRacing. This is the scoring that iRacing puts out. So I'm going to wait for any adjustments made by Race Control, because already I can see in the Discord channels Dylan Jones wondering who got 3rd place. I'm wondering too. I thought Connor New was there, and maybe we can look back at the replay in a second. I thought it was Connor New. I don't know why he would have been thrown out of that spot there at the end, but what's being shown on scoring at least is Main in 1st, Bowser 2nd, and then Dylan Jones in 3rd, Elliot O'Neill 4th, Matt Smith 5th, then Jeffrey Hyatt, Jason McManus with a great comeback, Aiden Schramm from the very back of the field up to 8th place. Good job, Aiden. Remember, he was that lucky break of the day recipient from the B main. So props there to Aiden Schramm, up to 8th place, Braden Tuttle in 9th, and Connor New in that 10th spot as scoring is displaying it. And sure enough, Race Control, at least Dana is chiming in the YouTube chat saying scoring got messed up, and it'll be Jesse Main, Connor New, Jeff Bowser. So that is the order we'll go with. It'll be Main, New, and then Bowser that we'll be talking to in post-race. Finishing 11th per iRacing scoring at least is Ethan Patterson, Blake Henn in 12th, Shane Tucker in 13th. A lot of these guys got turned over at the end. Joshua Colburn, Jackson Whittington, and again, Joshua Colburn, I did chomp at the bit a little too much. I jumped the gun, and I apologize for what I said initially before I saw that your right front had broken. Jackson Whittington 15th, Tyler Bickford 16th rather in the 07. Chase Copeland out of the race early in 17th. Boy, it was a lot of fun watching him and New go at it. Wish we could have had that all 50 laps. Hunter Carlson there in 18th, Nicholas Moll in 19th, and it'll be Chase Staples out of the race early in the 20th spot. Deeper in the field, Brandon Joy, Jordan Timon, Buzz Adams, and Jeffrey Try did not make the race. Well, we have an opportunity to chat with our race winner, and that'll be Jesse Main this evening. I believe, Jesse, you were one of the only drivers in the Discord channels all race long. You drove from 17th up to 1st, but how in the world did you get there?
Man, to be honest, I have no idea how I got there. my car was completely beat to death, and I just tried to maintain staying on the top and try to stay as much out of trouble as much as I could. And somehow or another, I got a whole lot of luck on my side and was able to get the lead with about 12 to go and held on to it.
And right now, you are leading our driver of the day vote. I'd imagine the performance has already done a really good job of selling why you should be driver of the day. But what should people know about you that should make you today's driver of the day, considering you came from the B main all the way into the feature and won this thing?
I'd say I'd like to also include that I didn't get to qualify, so that's why I had to start so deep in my heat. I think I started 8th or 9th and got 5th, and it was able to go to the B main. But if I could think of one good reason why to vote me as the driver of the race is the sheer determination from not getting to qualify at all and having to start dead in the back of my heat and coming all the way through the heat, winning the B, and then moving on to the A and starting 17th to 1st. I think that suffices enough.
There you go, Jesse Main letting the talk on the racetrack talk for itself. Jesse, congratulations. A solid effort out of car 201 this evening. I see a pretty stock iRacing paint scheme on there as well. Do you have anybody you want to thank?
Not really. Well, I would like to thank my team, Lethal Performance Industries, for supporting me and helping me with setups and stuff. Here at the start of this last season, and Main Motorsports, which is just pretty much me. And outside of that, bro, we're good.
Outside of that, we good. I like it. Jesse, congratulations. We'll see if you hold on for driver of the day. You're leading the vote right now. We'll close that here at the end of driver interviews, but congratulations regardless.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That's Jesse Main leading the way in the driver of the day vote and winning here at Fairbury Speedway. We'll drop down to second place. And again, we're being told by Race Control that Connor New will be credited with the second place. And Connor, it was an up and down race for you. You come in here with that black license, so already a target's on your back, right? You get through the heats and everything. Here you are in the feature, racing Chase Copeland. What was that like?
Oh yeah, we were really good all night. Qualified pole by half a second, and then won our heat race by a pretty good bit. And then yeah, we just got racing there, and I just misjudged it with that lap car, and then and we made contact, but I felt like he could have avoided it for sure. He didn't cut down really all that much like he should have, but that's part of racing, and we still come on second, which we ain't very happy about, but we'll take it.
Yeah, what was going on from your perspective there right at the end of the race? Because there was a scoring error or something going on. You had that big send on Bowser and nearly got there on Jesse, but what was going on from your side?
Yeah, I felt like, the scoring was screwed up the whole race just because we had 14 cautions. But yeah, I felt like if we was in second on that last restart, which I was trying to tell him that over the voice chat. I feel like if we was in second, we could have made a move and probably won the race, but it didn't play in our favor, and we had to restart third, which we made it up to second, but still wasn't the best run.
And of course, this was a custom fix setup this evening, making it a bit like a B mod, but I see the Matt Julis C Speed Shop logo on the side of your car. I see it on the car behind you there in Dylan Jones, and we see that logo a lot on the asphalt short track side, which we're used to here on Pit Stop TV. But what's it like with of course, Blake Matt Julis and Evan C., two big names in iRacing, dirt racing? What's it like having them kind of run the ship over there, and how is your effort going on the pro side?
Yeah, we were really good in Pro Series last year. Those guys are great to us. They always supply us with the fastest setups on the market. So, if you need anything, we have everything basically now except like off-road and road course stuff. But I'm sure that's coming, soon, potentially. But yeah, they just provide us with really good setups and always good advice whenever we need them.
Well, congratulations. I know, I know it's not exactly what you wanted in getting back up to the front of the field, but second place, still nothing to shake your head at. Congratulations tonight.
Thank you.
And we'll move on down and grab third place. That'll be Jeff Bowser Jr. And Jeff, you were second place those last couple of restarts. Is there anything, looking back on it now, anything you would have changed about those last couple of laps to hang on to second place?
No, not really. Connor was coming. We had that last caution, and luckily I was ahead of him just a hair on that last lap. So it gave me the second spot. But man, he was moving, and I might have been able to hold on to it. But coming out of 3 and 4, coming out of 1 and 2 on that last lap, I got a little tight and pushed up a little bit, and saw his nose underneath me. And there's not much I could have done about it. Just wish I would have kept it a little straighter.
And this was a kind of interesting race, right? You guys have the UMP modified set up to be kind of like a B mod. How was the car different? Of course, the track was black from the end of practice all the way through all the preliminary racing into the feature and all that. So it was used up. But what was the car like this evening with this custom fixed setup?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun because usually you've got UMPs and they're real hard to keep on the throttle. They put these setups together, kind of put a lower gear in them to power them down and stuff, made it super competitive and fun to drive. Like you said, the track was super slick. I wish I had a little more on the bottom, would have made it a little more racy, but other than that, man, it was a blast with these setups they put together. It was a lot of fun.
And I see the Twisted Speed logo on the front, the side of that car. What's the effort like from you guys over at Twisted?
Yeah, I started with Twisted Speed last season. I had bought some of their stuff, got in with the guys, and they've just been super good to me, man. They any help that I need setup wise, any driving, coaching, anything like that, they're always there for me. Man, they've been a huge help. I went from a 1600 I rating back in the end of March to now I'm almost up to a 4K now. So they've been a huge help in that, helping me progress and just get better and better every week.
So big gains being made here by Jeff Bowser Jr. Congratulations. Solid effort for you tonight. Wish it could have been a spot or two higher, but hey, third place, nothing to shake your head at. Congrats.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Jeff Bowser Jr. Scored a second, but third place this evening per race control. And you saw kind of what was going on there on that last restart in the background. Let's go back and try and get this at full speed. It might be right here. So this is the restart. Watch Connor New there in that 210. And by the way, that Driver of the Day vote has just ended. I'll fill you in on who wins here in just 1 second. But Jeff Bowser Jr., he's going to fall back right here in 3 and 4. Connor gets a great run out of the corner. There's the white flag. Here's the turn 1 and 2. Jeff at the racetrack, he bobbled. That's what it was. He bobbled in 2. Gave the spot up to Connor, who goes down low. And Connor New nearly got there on Jesse Main. Not quite. And then what happens here at the end? This is why he's being scored out of third place, or second place rather. Whatever happened here after the fact, and I see nothing. I see nothing out of the ordinary, so I really don't know. But if nothing else, this is one more opportunity to go back and look at what happened on that last restart. Here it is from the drone camera. Watch Jesse Main, that 201 car. That is today's North American Racing League Driver of the Day. So not only does he win it, he takes home the DOTD Driver of the Day. Jesse Main, a fan favorite now after that one from 17th on the grid. Came through the B main. Came from the back of his heat even to win tonight's feature event. I believe it's $100 as well as far as a payday. And watch this closing rate right here. Connor came in and his nose was just ahead of Jesse for a second, but he was able to hang on. Let's get one more look here at this replay. This is down the back stretch. Or front stretch rather, so this is coming to green. That's the 1 to green signal there. Jeff Bowser Jr. in second, Connor New in third. And Jesse Main, this is just incredible. You see him behind on the onboard shot. All over the racetrack. Everybody trying to struggle for grip. This last lap, though, this is what I want to see. I want to see just how far Connor's nose got ahead of Jesse down here in 3 and 4, because he got there. I mean, look at this in slow-mo. He was just about even with him, but then, of course, he's carrying all that speed up the racetrack, and Jesse's able to get his power down way sooner and drive off the corner, and that is why Jesse Main hung on for today's Mid-State Showdown race win. So congratulations, Jesse Main. What an effort, a valiant effort here out of driver 201 to come through the back end of his heat race, not able to qualify, had to go through the B main and everything, and ends up as the race winner here today. This has been a lot of fun here at Fairbury Speedway. If you're new to Pit Stop TV, make sure to give the stream a like, make sure to subscribe, all that good stuff. Jesse Main is today's driver of the day winner, and I would say McManus is still my lucky break of the day, even though he ended up kind of having everything fall in on him. He still came home in, I believe, 8th spot when it's all said and done. So McManus, today's driver of the day, or sorry, today's lucky break of the day, rather. There we go. Getting them all confused. You see the McMoney logo on the side of that, number 81. Speaking of McMoney, let's take a look at those who help us out here with this event. The Mid-State Showdown brought to you by Crow Customs, by Neff Sim Shots, by McMoney Designs and Logos, and by Infamous Raceworks. Also want to thank our partners here at Pit Stop TV, Whiplash Sim Cams, ATVO, CC's Business, Cody Williams Design, Lucky Performance, and the North American Racing League. One more time, upcoming shows for us here at the channel. Next up, it's the Major Series. That's tomorrow at 6:45 Eastern. Make sure to tune in for that. The Classic IndyCar at Homestead Miami Speedway. Gonna be a lot of fun. Make sure to tune in for that one. Then the Luke's Playhouse Wellness Center and Gym 200 on Wednesday. A feel-good broadcast for us, a feel-good race with some high-profile drivers entered. You'll also want to catch that one on Wednesday, July 23rd, and Thursday we head to Sebring with the North American Racing League. Make sure to follow along on our social media channels, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and X. That'll do it for us this evening. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you all next time here at Pit Stop TV with the Major Series tomorrow night from Homestead.